Hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Audrey, if you're new here. If not, welcome back. This video is actually not one of my normal videos. This is not gonna be a vlog. This video is kind of a collection of all the footage I got from my best friend and I's trip to California. We did a cross-country trip because she was moving to California, back to California, and I went along with her. And I had this idea to make this video kind of cute. I don't know how well I can edit it because I'm not that good at editing, but we'll try. But I basically wanted to come on here and talk about the trip and everything because this trip was a very pivotal point in my life, especially the times that I'm going through right now. But first I'll talk about the trip. Actually, the trip. We did it in 3 days. We did a stop in Amarillo and a stop in Flagstaff. And the first 2 days were about 8 to 9 hour driving days, and then the last day was a 12-hour day. And not going to say what city we ended up in, but it was a beach city in California. My best friend and I are both originally from California, and she's moving back for some reasons, which is really depressing because she's my best friend. And ultimately our goal is to be able to move in with each other. So at the end of the day, I just have to remember that we're doing this so that we can save up and, move in with each other someday. But this trip was very nerve-wracking in the beginning just because I'm a very nervous person. But this trip was the last thing from stressful or anxiety inducing, which I'm glad about because the entire month of March was probably the busiest month that I've had in easily like a year and a half. Like, genuinely, this month tested me, and I say that like full-heartedly. Like, this month really rocked me, like, for real. Prior to the trip, I had worked 9 days straight, and then I had family come into town for my sister's bridal shower, and so that was a whole whirlwind. And then I worked every day up until the trip, and then I was gone for 5 days, and it was just a lot to begin with, or to even think about the trip, because I was already so exhausted from everything that I had already been doing, and then to think that we were gonna have to drive 3 days across country was like a lot. But it was fine. Everything was fine. We made great timing each day, and we had no problems, thankfully. The most pivotal point for me about this trip and this timing of this trip was the fact that it happened during a period in my life where the most pivotal part of this whole thing, this whole trip and the whole timing of the trip, is really just the fact that the timing of the trip and the emotions of it really hit. Because not only was I so busy for the entire month leading up to it, and I was so exhausted, and I was with every molecule of my being just trying to get through it, but I was also like with a lot of things that had been happening personally in my life. I had a realization like about a week prior to the trip how I have not been doing anything for myself for a really long time, and I want to start living for myself and doing what I want. And this trip happened perfectly in time because it was like not a trip for me, but it was me going on a trip. And I was excited to go on it because we were going back to California, you know. So on top of that, it has also helped me realize a lot of things, because for a really long time now, I have been trying to figure out what I want to do with my life and where I want to be, and kind of just like figuring out who the hell I am. And part of this trip with going back to California, kind of like, I don't know, it just really opened up my eyes, because living in the small town that I've been living in for the last year and a half has been a bit of a struggle, because it's not a good fit for me. I don't feel like, I mean, I love being out in the countryside, but I want to be somewhere where things are happening and like there's things to do. I love the outdoors, and while we live in the countryside, which is the outdoors, I miss like Joshua Tree, and I miss the beach, and I miss the San Bernardino Mountains, and I miss like everything that comes with the California outdoors. And I miss being able to go out on the town, and because there's no like nightlife here, you know. Those are the kind of things I miss. And it was kind of eye-opening for me to be like, once we finally hit like Flagstaff or like Arizona where the mountains started appearing, I like the flip of a switch in my brain, I was like, oh my god, like this is where I'm meant to be. Like I need to be in the mountains. I need to be, I say, in a more how do I word it? I want to be somewhere where there's more inclusion. In the city I live in, there's not a whole lot. And I miss being somewhere where there's more inclusion, because never in my life have I ever been so judged by the people here. Like genuinely. Which that can be a whole nother topic on itself. But, you know, going back to California on this trip, it was like, oh my god. We went to the beach. We went to taqueria. I've been trying to pronounce that properly. I got good Mexican food, you know, like just, I can't even put into words how much like I enjoyed like going on this trip, because it just made me realize how much I miss California and the area and whatnot.
Bussies.
Bussies!
Bussies!
It's like not even showing.
Pressure.
Go and pee at Bussies.
The only place to go.
What do you think about that? Yeah.
That's her side. At a nice 70 degree. Mine's at 61 degrees. It's still hot. So I'm sweating balls right now. Probably because I have my jacket on me. Huh?
Why they make this shit like a mile out?
So you have to walk to your spare feet. I think you can actually buy some. Oh my god, the fumes. I actually don't know if I want to go over there. made it to the hotel room. And the cat is feasting. Yum, yum, yum.
Can I get a 3-finger combo with an extra toast and an extra sauce? Can I get Coke for the drink, please? Thank you.
And can I get a clocky tea, hold the boots?
We're actually out of the boot. We're out of the boot.
But I want to hold the boot.
What the fuck?
Go straight forward.
Freaking out on the interstate, rolling down the windows, baby. I can't hear a thing you say. I'm walking back to my favorite place, and I can feel them staring at me, baby. Do you think I'm doing something wrong? And you got a lot on your mind, and your heart, it looks just like mine. There's no use in wasting your time anymore. I'm sorry, I haven't been myself, and something's got me down. What it is, I cannot tell. I won't be satisfied with anything I've earned. Fear is just a part of love, and one thing I found is love's what you deserve. Driving home and call my father on the telephone. I hope you
New Mexico! And my depression is cured. I found a job, and heaven knows I'm miserable now in my life. Oh, why do I give valuable time? And where this kind of led to the whole part of it being really pivotal for me was the fact that for a while now, while I've been trying to figure out what to do with my life, also kind of where I want to be. For a really long time, I always just figured I would be where my family is. And granted, while I don't want to move away from my family, the older I get, the more I realize that if I don't move to where I want to live, I will regret it so much when I'm older. I will regret not doing it for my independence, doing it for me because I want to live somewhere different. My best friend and I were talking prior to the trip, and I was like, I'm gonna cry like a big baby when I have to say goodbye to you because, like, she's my best friend. We're literally twin flames. Like, she's a sister to me. And I was like, I'm gonna cry like a big baby. Like, you know, the hardest thing about these types of things is having to say goodbye and miss people that you love. And I think that's the hardest thing that I've realized, because when I went on this trip, like, I didn't realize how, like, I guess sad my parents would be. And then also, like, how sad I would be leaving my best friend. And, like, I was talking to my sister about it, and, you know, my sister went into the military, so she had to leave at the age of, like, 19. And we were talking about how a part of life is having to do the things you want to do, even if it's really uncomfortable and really hard to do, really sad to do, like hard to leave people you love, hard to leave, you know, whatever. But ultimately, I think at the end of the day, you have to do those things because you won't grow unless you do it, and you won't learn. And I know for me, I will regret it if I don't move and do what I want. Or, not to say, if my family's watching this, not to say that I plan on moving soon and blah 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 whatever, but I don't know where I want to move, and I don't know how long I'm gonna move or like be somewhere else. I mean, this is a nice city to slow down in, but I'm not doing that anytime soon. But a part of like these changes in life as you get older, which I think this is just such like part of it why it was so eye-opening for me, is because these are the changes that happen as you get older. And I'm 23, and I'm really starting to learn what it's like to get older, in these types of senses, where it's so heartbreaking to do these things, to go on trips away from, your parents for the first time, do these really scary things, do these really emotional things. I'm trying to not cry right now. And to also want to eventually move where you want to move, or do whatever you want in life, whatever that is. I know for me, I want to be nomadic for a while. I would like to live in a van or a schoolie, but I know even that would be really, really hard, having to just leave like my family and the familiarity of my home. But as hard, try not to cry, as hard it is to do those things, I think you have to do them. You have to do them to grow and be independent. And for me, and I'm sure a lot of people, it would, there would be a lot of regret in not doing it. And those, having to deal with those emotions is really hard. And that's what my sister and I were talking about, is just like, these are the emotions that you have to go through as you get older. And they suck. They really, really suck. Like, I wish I didn't have to feel these emotions, but it's inevitable either way. Like, if I don't move, I'm gonna be miserable living here for the next 30, 40 years. If I do move, then I'm gonna be really sad to leave. But once, the hardest part of saying goodbye is actually like leaving, which I feel like that also ties into the fact that as I get older, I also have to start creating my own life, away from everything that I've known. Because if I don't, then, what am I living for? I'm not living for me. And I guess the point I'm trying to get to here is just the fact that these emotions and these trials and tribulations through life can really suck and be really, really emotional and sad and whatever emotion. At the end of the day, I feel like that's what we were meant to do as humans. I feel like that's a part of the human experience. Well, it does suck, but it's like before my best friend and I left, I was saying how I'm gonna cry like a big baby, and I cried like twice while we were there before even leaving, because I just had so much fun being in California and being like with my friend, and like kind of getting to experience what it'd be like when her and I lived together, because we do plan on living together. And I just I started crying the day prior to me leaving, and I was like, I don't want to leave. Like, the fact that I have to come back, here to Texas, I'm not going to say the city I live in, it's just hard. Because even when you go through life and you make those connections to make, as you get older, you have to start creating your own life and your own connections outside of your own family, And like, my best friend now is the first person I've ever become friends with that like I genuinely have such a strong connection with, and in the most platonic friendship way, I see myself living the rest of my life with her in my life, not in a romantic couple way, but like I will see myself being friends with her for the rest of my life, and having that connection, but then also having to be like move far apart from each other like that, while having all this other pivotal emotion in your life happening. Some of this stuff I can't even talk about because it's too personal. So it's like, I can't even say everything, but it's such a pivotal point, and I was so emotional, and I was crying the first like 20 minutes of the road trip because I just had so much going on in my head.
Oh wait, I don't have TikTok on here anymore. Wait, I have YouTube. I'll go on YouTube. Hamza?
Oh my god, that was funny.
I dare you to say it's not. I dare you to say it's not. This one is definitely an old Cardi B. Fuck you. And your big homie. I got rap shit.
I won't be satisfied with anything I've earned. Fear is just a part of love, and one thing I found is love's what you deserve. Let's put
Are you good? I'm kind of mad I just spilled this on here.
Oh, you did?
I don't have anything to get it out either. And it's tiny, but it's just a white shirt, and I don't know what this is. Maybe paprika? Maybe? I think paprika will come out.
Let us know down below. I think it should be good. Maybe if you use like bleach or something.
Oh. It's on the sides of it.
Should have got over.
Wait, no, you keep it here because it's the next light up. California. Okay, whip it around. Okay, queen. How I've missed walkable cities. 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
What I learned from this trip is that it may be really, really, really hard to do these changes. I'm trying not to cry. It may be really hard to do these changes and to make these moves literally and figuratively, I say. It's really hard to get older and to learn how to go through these changes in life. that the only thing you can do is see the beauty in the change, even though it hurts like a mother trucker. That hurt like a butt cheek on a stick, you know? And I think you just have to take it all in, the good and the bad, the happy and the sad, the anxiety, the loneliness, the euphoria, like literally everything. You have to take it all in, even if it's not fun, even if it's really painful. And I guess that's just part of life. And at the end of the day, you just gotta go to bed and wake up and do it all over again and enjoy it. Because that's what we were meant to do, is just enjoy it. Enjoy life. I'm trying not to cry. That's all. I hope some of this made sense for this video. This video is also very random. I didn't get really solid clips, so it's gonna be a little sporadic, but I'm trying to put in this mixed in with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in the next vlog, whenever that may be, because I'm taking a break. I'm letting myself rest. I slept for 14 hours after I got back from the trip, okay? Let me relax for a day before I start filming again. Thank you guys. I love you guys. And I'll see you later.